following program makes use of copywritten material as part of a psychological examination of music. All music copyrights remain property of their respected creators. You have been criticizing yourself for years, and it hasn't worked. Try approving of yourself and see what happens. This popular quote from Louise L. Hay represents the strength that self-esteem exists within. One sure way to show yourself how beautiful you truly are is to make a change in physical appearance that expresses your personality the way that you want it to. Generation Salon is ideal for this spiritual revelation. Generations is the top hair salon for hair cutting, styling, coloring, and other great options to express individuality. With their fingers on the pulse of modern styling trends and a solid foundation and the classics that you love, their salon truly is a salon for all generations. All their chemical services include a cut and style at no additional cost. The single process costs $50, full highlights at $75. Look, man, I'm not going to tell you that Generation Salon is located at 2804 Lake Road, Suite 2, and I'm also not going to go ahead and just tell you to check out their website at generations4u.com. But what I am going to tell you to do is that if you're ready to make this important change within yourself, you should stop what you're doing and schedule your appointment with them today at 936-755-8200. Generation Salon truly is a place where you can be your own kind of beautiful. This show is also brought to you by
Effin' Classy Tattoo. The world is our playroom and our bodies are a canvas, and we weren't given these gifts to just leave them unmarked and uncolored. If you're going to go out in this world, there's only one way to go, and that's to go out big. Forget what society tells you is acceptable and show everyone who you really are. Warriors did it after they won a battle, soldiers did it to claim their allegiances, and now you can do it to introduce yourself to the world by going to Effin' Classy Tattoo, located at 2804 Lake Road, Suite 5. You won't find anywhere else that comes close to what these guys can do for you. They give so much of their worth and give you that second chance by fixing any of your cheap tattoos from the past. Visit their website, effinclassy.com, for special deals and updates. Show your true colors now and get over to Effin' Classy Tattoo. Hey kids, welcome to today's show. Before we go into today's show, we want to do a little bit of house cleaning for you. We got merchandise! We got some stickers, pretty good looking stickers too. Go over to conversationalistpodcast.com, check them out, spread the love, you guys know what to do. Anyways, on to today's show. We had our very special BFFs Hammer Party over today, and it was a very, very, very fun show. I was so happy with how this show turned out. Now, I was a little bit nervous because I didn't get to see them live, and you did, so I felt like I was just walking into unknown territory.
Also, whenever you listened to, or whenever we did the podcast, you hadn't listened to them yet.
That's literally what I just said. But that's okay, baby. You know, we all make mistakes. Yeah, I didn't get to hear any of their music, and so I was real nervous about just talking to them. I didn't know what the fuck to expect. But we got them on. Real fun dudes. Bunch of silly cats. I could talk to those guys all day. But then we got to talk about music. We got to talk about their band's history. We got to talk about DC losing his tooth while breakdancing at a Christian concert, amongst many other silly things that we'll get into. I don't want to spoil it for you, but there's some good stuff.
There's some good stuff
about a certain festival called Buttfest. But anyways, on to the show. Johnny, my love, take us there.
Welcome to the Conversationalists.
Scared the crap out of me when I was like 12 and saw it for the first time.
Which one?
Clint Eastwood, the Gorilla song.
Yeah. Do they really play behind a sheet? Is it all just
Well,
Check,
no, the
check,
stuff,
check, check.
The stuff that I've seen, like, is that they have everybody playing. They have all the musicians and stuff and DJs or whatever. But yeah, they play like behind a sheet and usually have like animations like on a big screen, I guess. And I don't know for sure, but I've heard that that's Ice-T's brother.
Really?
The rapper, Russell.
Would be a
Russell.
fun little bit of music
Well, I think
trivia.
he sounds like Ice-T when he raps, you know.
You know, when I was like 12 years old, I like committed this part of the song to memory, and like I felt like the coolest
Be
kid.
the
Cause,
coolest kid in
Because
school.
like at the school dances, they would play it, and like they would have to censor it, of course, but they would play it.
Yeah.
You do
And
the
like I would just go on
version.
flow, and yeah.
Oh. So what should be my range? Like 6 inches, couple.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I think
Feet.
we're good
Closer
right
the
here.
better with you
Feet.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all need to get real cozy. Thanks, man.
Is that better?
I'll grab my monitor. Yeah. Y'all.
I've discovered that it helps if you hold hands.
Oh really?
Oh, okay.
Under the table.
We're soulmates.
Everybody good? Everybody can hear themselves?
Yeah, I can hear myself.
Alrighty then. Thank you guys very much for coming to the show. We usually start our show with a clinky. So if you want to get a beer, or if you just want to bro fist it with us, whatever you want to do to make you feel comfortable.
All
Bro
right.
fisting.
Well, I got a glass of water.
All right,
so-
that'll do, man. All right. Right on. man.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Everybody else has beer.
Ah.
Some good water.
So before we get into it, obviously we met before the show, but for the sake of listeners, if we can do the corny as hell thing, introduce yourself and
get it out of
tell
the
us what
way.
instrument you play.
Right on.
I'm James.
And you play the...
I play guitar and I sing.
Okay.
I'm Daniel. I play bass.
All right.
Hey, what's up? I'm Andrew. I'm the drummer.
Nice. Sweet intro. It's like you practiced that one before. So you guys are the Hammer Party, but one thing I want to get into before we dig into the Hammer Party is that you guys are formerly Chongo, correct?
That's right.
That's
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Them too. I just hopped on.
Right.
Yeah.
We had
Um,
a different basis.
How did you come across them? Just these people that you knew, or
Yeah, actually, James was a manager at an
Richmond
apartment
Apartments.
complex. Yeah, that
got torn
my
down.
ex-girlfriend used to live at, so I was always over there. And yeah, he even asked me one time. I was like, "Yeah, we should jam, man." I was like, "Yeah." It's like, school's real crazy right now, but
right?
shoulda did it, but it worked out. So
Right. It all figured itself out.
Yeah.
If like I said, I just want to touch on the Chongo a little bit because you guys were kind of like doing shows for a good while, weren't you? We're like
For about a year.
About a
Yeah.
year.
What led you guys to stop that and start this project? Like, was it just
The bassist moved away,
okay?
and I think he got married, so we kind of took a little break. And
We
then,
also lost our practice space.
Yeah.
Ah, that'll do it.
Yeah, the house that he lived in, they lived together.
You almost take that for granted, like actual space where you can play, because you think this is going so well, you know, like we'll never lose this, and then you get booted out of wherever you're at. It's like, now what the fuck do we do?
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah, it does. I mean, shit, we used to do it in the storage units for a good while.
Yeah,
That's
off of 1945.
yeah, dude, that was the
Yeah.
spot
that's
right
classic.
there, man. I mean, you
Yeah.
get air conditioned, you can lock your shit up. As long as you pay that like $45 a month, you're set. I wish there was more spots like that, actually. You know, I grew up in a small town in Wisconsin called Sheboygan, and like they actually have like.
Sheboygan.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Sheboygan.
Johnny.
Wow.
No, man.
Okay, fuck you. Anyways, they actually have like big, like almost warehouses of like little storage units, which look like little rooms, and you can like set it up, put couches in there, like have actual jam rooms. And I remember I was visiting a friend one year, and like a whole floor was just like nothing but bands, like in these storage unit, like these rooms, just jamming out. So you get like some like metal going, then you get like some ska with the trumpets, and then you get everything. Like it's like. You open a door, you go in, brand new band. It was like fucking nuts. But if we had stuff like that here, I think that would encourage.
Well,
Right, they do in Houston.
Do they really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they do.
yeah,
Well, they're not
we had a
storage
space.
spaces, but they're
think
they're
Dallas
buildings
had
that
one
have been
too.
outfitted.
Like me and Andrew have been playing together for about I don't know, like 7 or 8 years,
Oh,
and in just various bands. But we had a band in Houston for a while, and we rented a space at the Rhythm Room,
Oh,
which it was just like that. I think it was actually
was
thing
a
they
nice place.
converted
Yeah.
from a storage unit into just practice spaces. There's another place called Francisco's too.
That's what I've heard of.
Yeah,
That was used to be the municipal sanitation department building, I think.
yeah, it's like a
And
really
then,
old.
It was an old
building.
office building, but they converted it to soundproof, and
Did you ever go to the docks?
it's residential on the 4th floor too.
Do you remember the docks? That space.
I practiced there,
Yeah, yeah,
right under the freeways crossing.
yeah. That place is pretty cool. But some of them, like the ones in Houston, they have like artists rent them out and like make it their art studio or
Yeah.
whatever too. But the rhythm room, it was just like a cacophony of noise. Like,
Right.
you, like walk in there and there'd be people like doing, like you said, like metal, and then
Yeah.
there were some people who were trying to do like, be rap producers and stuff. And they would always get like pissed off, because they'd be trying to, like, the people next to us would get mad because they were trying to like record vocals for their rap thing. But it's
Yeah.
like, it's not a good place to have like a
Studio.
recording studio.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the thought
Strictly
is like
practice, pretty
fantastic. Like to have like just space where there could be
Rehearsal.
a whole
Yeah,
like
yeah.
building, a whole world of music. But
We were
then when it
awful
come-
about paying our rent too. Like
Yeah.
we,
No, we weren't.
yeah, we were.
We
the
need
worst.
another band to share a room with.
Right.
Yeah. We shared this space with what was the name of that band?
Cozy pillows.
Yeah, they're called Cozy Blankets,
Cozy
and they were
Blankets.
this like, weird. I
They
don't
were
know.
cool.
Yeah,
Probably
they were
still around.
Yeah, what they play, like shoegaze kind of stuff, I guess, or
Sure.
like or like I don't know, it was some kind of music like
They were
that.
nice. They got us a few shows. They were
Yeah,
cool.
they did get us a
Hey,
few
it
shows.
just seems like you just have to find someone that's okay with you making a ton of noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to schedule everything
latch
around the
on.
other band. But.
Yeah, totally. Like I was about to say, like it's cool to have that as a premise, but then whenever it comes to like actual like getting shit done, then you gotta kind of cooperate with
I
each
like
other.
the idea of practicing in a storage space. I always assumed they would,
Get kicked
kick
out.
you out or get arrested.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on where you go, because where we went, like, they were really cool with us being there, and I guess they had previous bands there, like Last Great Assault was playing there, I think you guys were playing there for a good while, so they're used to it, so much that anytime that, police would show up, they would just be like, man, fuck them, man, you just keep playing, man, do whatever you want, so I guess it really depends,
We've only got the cops called on us once. So.
Oh,
We're
shit.
glad to say that we have already had them.
Probably
called
got like
on us.
4 or 5 times for us, I want to say.
So about how much does it cost for one of those little rooms in Francisco's or something like that?
I mean, if you're
we have?
splitting it, it's
We had
probably
it was like a
$100
15
a
foot
month.
by 20 foot
That's
would run
perfect.
about what, $300-$400 total.
Yeah,
month?
so it's like
A month.
we'd pay like 150 or 100 or
Well,
something.
no,
like
so you share that between two bands with
Right.
4 or
Yeah,
5
you
members
split it.
each.
Okay.
You're paying like
Right.
25,
Especially if you knew the
$30 a month
band
each.
well enough, you could probably leave your shit in there. Is it somewhere you can lock the doors and shit?
Yeah, yeah. You get a
Yeah.
key and
If you know the band well enough, you feel comfortable enough about leaving your
Yeah,
stuff.
that's the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
We've had strange experiences.
But our old bassist actually had a space like that, and the guy in Chongo, his name was Heston, but all his band's equipment got stolen, like out in Austin.
Right.
A whole like van.
It got stolen out of their trailer. Didn't
Yeah,
it?
but it was parked at their practice space, like they had
Ah.
it, and somebody just took everything, like
Happens.
nice vintage amps and stuff. So
I think
Gotta
if
be
there's
careful.
one guaranteed way to break a musician's soul, it's just like steal their shit. Like that's so much
Yeah.
years
God,
of their
yeah.
life spent saving something, and it's like even if somebody stole one of my cymbals, I'd be like, motherfucker.
It'd be the worst
done.
thing because they would not at that point know how to vent about
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Like, what am I supposed to hit to feel better about this? But yeah, so you guys are doing Chongo, and then you guys, you say you got to take a break.
Yeah, we did
Uh,
Chongo, and Heston moved out. He got married, and or he's getting married, and moved away, and so we found this other guy.
yeah, this guy here.
And me
Now,
and James,
it's no surprise to me that you find him because this dude's been like so musical since he was in high school, probably even before that.
Yeah,
really.
yeah, I guess you could say that.
So I mean, it's surprising that you got him, but in the same sense, like it's no surprise. It's like shit because DC's been doing the shit.
Dude, I just pestered the shit out of James. It's just like
you
go
really
have
liked
beers.
Chongo, didn't you?
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
when you get Chongo back together, man? Like, what, you looking for a bass player, man? Like, I'll play some bass. And then, one day he just was like, yeah, we're going to start this project.
Right.
I'm glad, man.
So what were like the first like practices with you guys like? Because like this band in itself, it's fairly like still fresh, right? Like you
Yeah.
guys had your first show like a week ago.
That's right.
Yeah.
So like, what were like the first jams like?
Well, like me and Andrew, like I said, we're like completely comfortable. I know what to expect. When I go into a project with Andrew, but like with
to get
him,
each
I'm
other's
always
moves.
wary of like new people.
Yeah.
You have to kind of feel it out.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And you don't want to like let anyone down, or tell them they suck, at the same time. But I invited him over and showed him the songs, and he got it really fast. He understood what to do. So
Well, y'all got to practice them before I even.
I
heard
kind of
them.
taught him the songs beforehand.
Yeah, we got
So you had
forward.
like
But,
you had like a couple of songs already pre-written, and then you just
Yeah.
taught. Okay. Is that pretty much how your guys' set is looking right now, or is there anything that all three of you have written together?
Well, like me and him have been getting together and like kind of collaborating on songs and coming up with some new ideas. Like
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of works like me and Daniel will come up with the songs and then we all play them together.
Right.
Show them to Andrew.
Yeah.
But we haven't all three like sat down together necessarily. I don't think. I do a lot of my writing at home.
Right.
Right.
No, I totally understand that. Sometimes it's good, whenever you can come with like a fresh idea that you've been working on a little bit and present it, and really, I guess that shows like how devoted you are to the project. That you're like, you go to your space, you work on something, and then you present it, and then, the other guys. Do you chime in on like, oh, let's do this instead of that, or is it very much like however it comes in, like you pretty much just go from there?
Well, James usually comes in with the core ideas.
Yeah.
Jam them out at home, and
And then we test it out, and see
me
what
and
sounds
Daniel
good.
jam them, and then I'll just kind of come in with the drums and flop around all over
Right.
it, and just kind of make it into something.
No,
into a song.
that's definitely something I like about writing music is like you start with like a core idea, like maybe it's just like a few sections
just
of
just like
a
a riff,
verse,
like-
like something, and then but you have that and it could totally like turn into something else like once you get the vibe of it,
Totally,
like
yeah.
it's like a picture, but then you just like completely like paint over with other things and you turn it into like a brand new
Let's add some
creation.
little trees in there.
Yeah,
Like-
go some Bob Ross in
I'd
that
say
bitch.
we're a
man.
democracy. right?
Yeah, it's
We're a
pretty
democracy.
democratic,
That's great, man.
I mean,
But we've got a nice, comfortable pecking order, and we've got a bunch of songs. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
well, somebody asked me, it's that guy who works at Josie's, that guy who wears dresses and stuff.
Oh yeah, Cody.
I mean, the 12th Street Bar.
Yeah, 12th Street Bar. He asked me, how do you form a band? And I said, you get some friends together.
You have to be
And,
lucky.
and you have to know how to play your instruments, and you practice until you all hate each other. Like it's basically what it is.
That's
You
probably
all-
the most true thing I've ever heard about a band. Oh my god.
It's
Well-
like it becomes very like you have to work as a unit,
Yeah.
and so you're just hammering it out until you think it sounds okay.
Yeah.
So you really have to be comfortable with hating each other.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
I'm actually glad that you're like being that honest, because I truly agree with you in that sense. But it's like you listen to music like 1,000 times. Like if you record something, you have to listen to it 1,000 fucking times with your ear right next to the damn speaker, like trying to figure out all the imperfections and like figuring out, I fucked up there. Let's try this better. Like there's so much shit that goes into like writing a song that people just think you just 1, 2, 3, 4 and then you rock it out until bam, there's a hit. But it's like so much shit's going on in your head and physically and then emotionally, and then you're stressing out, you're pulling your damn hair out, and just to have one song. You know what I mean? It's like,
Well, I'm glad that we don't overthink it that much.
Yeah, we don't overthink it that
well,
much.
damn,
Like
I've been doing it wrong this whole time.
we're not dicks to each other or anything. It's just like
Your friend here seems to object to that.
Andrew's a total
No,
dick.
we're definitely against each other. I'm a huge dick. No, me and James have been playing together for so long. I think we know each other's nuances well enough to avoid pissing each other off too much.
Well, it's like one of those things you don't want to like bottle it up, and
Totally,
like, then it becomes this real contentious, stupid thing. You don't want it to be like that.
Well, that's the thing, finding a band and getting it to work. I consider ourselves really lucky to find people, especially Daniel, who can just gel and be cool and not a crazy person.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, crazy people are fine, but we work.
Did
we
you
can do
guys
it.
did you guys
Sorry, that was
find,
weird.
or did you try anybody else out before you decided to stick with Daniel, or
No.
was he the one?
He was the
Yeah,
only
Les
person I
Claypool
tried.
came by. No.
Getty Lee.
Right.
Getty Lee stopped by.
Are they completely retired, Rush?
I think so.
I think so.
Oh, I haven't heard about
I
that.
thought
I don't know.
They were still touring like a couple of years ago. Last
They've been
I knew.
touring constantly.
Yeah, well, I could have sworn I saw something that said Neil Peart played his last show, so I don't know if Rush is going to do the crazy thing of like getting an actual new drummer.
He didn't die, did he?
No, I think he's. Well, I mean,
there's sometimes they'll be like, this is our last show, or this is our last tour, and
they'll come back up with another one.
Right.
It doesn't always
Kiss.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they've been doing that shit. No, surprisingly, I don't know if you guys are the band Thrice by any chance.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Like
heard of
they retired in like 2010 or 11, and yeah, they're coming back to Houston like in June or whatever with a whole new album. Like I'm totally excited about that.
Tight, man. Yeah, they're not bad.
So real quick, you guys have known each other for a long time, but like, where did you guys meet? Like, what was that like?
I think we were in a German class together, and a mutual friend, our friend Brenton, introduced us because, like, you know, he knew we were both musicians. And
Right.
I was always
That's
looking
right.
for people to play with.
But we
in
did.
bands.
I met Breton in German class. Actually, he had a Tears for Fears T-shirt on.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
So I had
Brenton
to
was
talk
really
to him,
cool.
and he was like, "Oh, you look like a freak. Let's talk." I know other freaks.
So yeah, that's and like we've switched instruments in the various bands we've been in. Like I was a drummer in a couple of the bands, and then he's played guitar and played bass in some. You know, we've all switched around.
It's been fun. Actually,
Yeah.
when I first joined up with you in the examples, I was playing keyboards.
Yeah, that's right. He was playing
Trying to be
keyboards.
the
There was no
Doors.
bass. It was 3-piece guitar, keyboard, and drums. It was like garage rock kind of stuff.
Right.
Since then, we've just morphed.
Yeah.
What all bands have you been
Perpetually.
in?
I've been in over like 20 bands
God.
since I was like a little kid. You know.
Yeah, I've probably been in like 10 different established things, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, metal and pop or whatever.
How many bands have you been in?
I think just two or three.
Yeah.
Two. Yeah, it's two.
Lenora,
Right.
Yeah.
Stereostatic. Was it
Well, that was really
Yeah.
the same thing, wasn't it? Just a
Yeah,
different name.
same thing, different name.
And then there was like, who was that one guy that you played with? He had like the long hair.
Oh yeah, Kelly.
Kelly,
we had
yeah.
a band called of Crimes and Cretins.
Right.
Yeah. Forgot about that one.
Kelly, the
Yeah,
the
yeah,
music
yeah.
major.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was
man.
cool.
Yeah.
Actually, like I fought like after I first met him and I saw his shows, like I followed him for a while on MySpace, which says how long ago that was.
Yeah.
But like he was doing like some like real like twangy metal type thing, like very swingy, like bow do do do, like very like I don't know what it was. I don't even know how to classify it as a genre, but I just felt very like twangy metal. Like it was really weird, but it was cool as shit. You know, I felt
Recently or
no,
oh,
I mean like
back in
the MySpace
Was it
days.
Gent?
Right.
No, it was way before Gent was even a thing. Like
I
Gent,
like Gent.
Gent didn't really become a serious thing until like
He didn't invent it, though.
No, he didn't
necessarily.
invent it. No, like 2010s. Gent.
I think
Or-
technically Meshuggah
Really?
started Gent. That's what I was told. I don't know.
What's
I don't.
Gent?
I don't know. What is Gent?
I have to
Yeah, what
agree
is-
that
what's
Meshuggah
that?
is probably the
Original.
forerunners of Gentism.
Yeah, it's some form of progressive rock.
You know, I don't know. I think it's
I
literally
can't-
the sound that it's the method
Gent,
of production that
gent,
right.
gent.
It's so
Yeah.
down tuned
Oh,
and
that-
so
that,
chunky
okay.
that you get a.
I always called those chuns, like chun chun,
Yeah.
not gents. I called them chuns.
Gent.
Chun chun. Yeah.
Maybe
I see
Gent
that.
sounds a lot more nicer than Chun Metal or something like
Chun
that.
metal.
What's that band?
Sounds like a slur.
Immure.
I think I've heard that.
Oh, they're
Dude,
absolutely
I was
terrible.
trying to think of that band. That's the guy Frankie. He raps and wears a big white.
Yeah, they're like
fur coat.
Guidos.
I can't imagine rapping that kind of music. Man.
Well, no, it
You
actually.
should check out Emure. Their music videos are.
I read an article.
They're like people with boxing gloves, like in
It's like slamcore music,
you know,
but
I don't even
it's
know.
Sexy girls.
Okay. Now we're diving into something that I genuinely want to know. Like, there's two type of people two types of bands in the world. Okay, whenever you ask them what genre are you guys? Okay?
Country and western.
No. Like, you ask the person, so what kind of genre is your band? The first person's like, I don't know, man. You just sort of got to check it out. You know,
Yeah.
like you're so like unsure, but kind of like humble. Like, just give it a listen, man. Maybe you might like it.
You
And-
decide. Man.
Yeah. And then there's that guy. What kind of genre is your music? Oh, we're kind of like softcore.
softcore.
Softcore, dub.
Egyptian core. Like
Egyptian
what the
core.
fuck is this, man? Like,
Yeah.
we're symphonic Zoroastrian
Pre-post.
yeah.
pre-post, yeah.
We just play punk rock, but see, punk rock is such a broad,
Yeah, Andrew
Yeah.
came up with a good.
You called it party punk.
Party
Yeah.
punk. I
We're
Like
going
Andrew
with
WK.
that. Yeah, that's pretty.
Well, like
party punk there.
say take that and then add some punk rock.
okay.
Okay.
Like
Yeah. Minus
it's
the
a lot
weird
of
dance.
fun, It's fun party
It's like
drinking
guitar, yeah.
music, and It's for dancing and drinking.
Yeah.
And rocking.
I think you can
I
kind of tell
definitely hear
that.
a surfer vibe somewhere in the
Yeah,
guitar
you were at the
playing.
show. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I didn't get the chance to see you guys. I was too occupied doing something else. But he told me, they had that surfer rock kind of vibe. And then I listened to something that I found online, which Daniel confirmed was actually nothing that you guys are doing.
Yeah, no.
So I was like, I don't know what to think of this shit.
Just a placeholder, I guess, for now.
Hold me.
But then
that was a song I had recorded just to, but it's not a song we play.
Yeah.
But I actually just put it up there, and I was able to get a show out of it. So
Nice.
But that's why I made that. But we're actually trying to work on something right now.
I heard it and I legitimately liked it, so I was like, shit, yeah, this will be exciting to hear it. But then he tells me it's like surfer rock, and then I got to see like a pretty bad quality video of you guys playing. Like it was decent enough where I can hear what you guys are doing.
Ooh, videos.
Yeah,
I haven't heard about that.
it's like somebody like with a cell phone. It was your lady friend that you're hanging out with that night.
We're extremely vain. We'd like to see that.
Brian?
Yeah. She took like a video, and that was probably the only exposure I got to you guys. But I could tell by the name and from what he explained, like Hammer Party does seem like a good name for you guys. Like like you want to be a little punk rock, but you want to have a good time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's
you
a
wanna
party,
get a little
but
silly.
you might get hurt.
Yeah, totally. Oh shit! Which tooth was it that you lost?
Oh my god, yeah. My front tooth. And,
You don't know the story?
No.
Okay, so back in the day,
I knew this
Okay.
was gonna come back. It was like half of this tooth and actually, but like this
Yeah.
section here. This
okay, so back in the
is
day, actually it was at
It
a
grew back.
it was a gig
Yeah,
that's
it grew
right
back,
across the
yeah.
street from 12th Street Bar. There's this place called I don't remember what the fuck it was called, but they used to have like Christian rock shows there,
Hell
right?
yeah.
And there was this band, and like they were like the guy had like a double kick drum set, and like they had like such hardcore gear, but they're like
It was pretty
praise
alright.
Jesus,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
bro dude over here straight up like was breakdancing on the floor.
Dude.
Like all he needed was a piece of cardboard, and he would just been like in the jumpsuit. He would have been like legit.
You know how to break
Are you
dance?
saying that
No,
Daniel,
not really.
Daniel was breakdancing?
Daniel was
to a Christian
breakdancing
rock
at a
band?
Christian rock show.
I know. man,
Nice.
And now it's all over the internet.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
I actually have so much more respect for you now. A newfound one.
But
alright, I'll take
was
it.
it
I already
in?
respected you.
Was it during actual breakdancing that you lost the tooth,
It
or
was
was it?
during it. Yeah, I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
I got turned wrong and my face ended
Yeah.
up on the floor, or my
Yeah.
teeth,
that sucks.
rather, I guess. Yeah, and just popped right off. man.
I just I remember
Did
I
you
would,
ever heard that?
Retrieve
That's
your
incredible.
tooth.
Yeah, I got the guy to stop. And everything's like, can y'all turn on the lights? Like, I need to look for pieces of my tooth.
but
like what
I just
happened.
remember like seeing him come out of the gig, bloody face and everything. I was like, Jesus, man, like
It got
literally,
really
like,
intense
come
in
on,
there,
man.
Those Christian mosh pits are
Right?
brutal.
No, like it was funny.
Mosh
Like
for Jesus, man.
they got real heavy to the point where they were like, it's okay to mosh, but don't hurt each other. Like they had like the disclaim before the gig, like don't hurt each other, please.
Where's the line for that?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But yeah, you want to talk punk rock?
Thought I buried that one, man.
No, it's now stuck forever with you. But it's one of the many stories that like. Because I've been saying, like, you've been very musical for a long, long time, man.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
like the first stuff that you were doing, like, I almost considered you, like, the new, like, almost like Pete Loeffler, like, the lead singer from Chevelle, like, very, like, alternative,
Oh,
like,
man.
clean vocals, like, that was, like, sort of your thing for a while. And then, I guess it must have been whenever, like, you went to Austin and then you came back or didn't come back, if you know what I mean. And, and then you started coming into, like, different kind of music and different styles.
Yeah,
I
man,
noticed
don't
that
know,
immediately.
just-
with
yeah,
you.
yeah, just you just pick up a few bands and then
Yeah.
watch some YouTube videos. Like, oh, you might like these guys, and you
Yeah.
just get sucked in the YouTube
Right.
vortex.
What sort of stuff have you been like jamming out to lately?
Bands and
Yeah,
stuff.
or just music in general.
I really like this band, Bear vs. Shark. They're kind of like punk.
I think I've heard of them.
Yeah,
Actually.
man,
yeah.
like they're
Sure.
great.
I think we wrote a song after listening to one of their songs, and like it doesn't sound anything like them, but we were jamming them. It was like, yeah, let's fucking go with this, and then we jammed a song to it.
Yeah,
So-
man, like all I don't know, like the Jesus Lizard. I like them a lot.
I don't think I've heard of them.
Fugazi, Drive Like Jehu.
Jesus
pretty
Lizard
good.
is great.
Yeah, Jesus Lizard.
I've been in a weird. We've been listening to Sturgill Simpson, the
Country musician.
Oh yeah.
And also I've had this strange like Third Eye Blind kick for like a little while.
Oh,
like
no.
Dude, I used to love Third Eye Blind,
like
man.
like
Back in the day.
driving home from work, I was listening to "Losing a Whole Year," whatever that song, the first
Losing
song
a
of
Whole New Year,
yeah. And I was like, this shit goes so damn hard. Like,
Me and Andrew had a coworker who was like just totally still like obsessed with that band.
Really?
Like, yeah, and this is like 15 years after they had been
yeah.
Yeah.
popular. And he would just jam that stuff on the radio, man. It
okay.
would just drive you crazy.
I will admit it's interesting to meet, like a 20-year-old person whose favorite band is Third Eye Blind. But
Yeah, like
Right?
a band
but
that was
power to
popular when
them.
you were like
Power to
12.
them. It's cool.
Yeah, no, I
music
was-
speaks to people for whatever reason.
I was thinking about that actually while I was driving. I was like, that's sad. Like, we're getting to the 20-year mark of their first album. Like, that's how you know we're getting old.
Yeah,
Like-
Oh, man. Like
I don't
Sex
know
and
that.
Candy's gonna be on like
Right?
oldies stations, man.
Marcy Playground.
That was
Yeah.
Marcy Playground.
Yeah.
Marcy Playground.
I loved that.
That was a
song.
good song.
It was a good
I
song.
actually jammed the album
Yeah.
a little bit.
No, that was definitely, I think, in the prime days of like MTV and music, like mid to late 90s. I mean, obviously, like early 90s, whenever like alternative music was coming around, like that was like the big moment for music. But then something around like middle to like late, like you got like Beastie Boys, Intergalactic came out. You get fucking like Harvey Danger, Flagpole Sitta came out.
Dude, Outkast, man.
Outkast,
I had
what?
Bam.
a big Outkast phase.
Man,
there.
somebody played So Fresh, So Clean the other day. I was like, I'm doing like the fucking dance to that, like just like getting down to that shit, man.
Oh yeah, man.
But do you guys see yourself as like you have like a wide variety of like musical tastes? Like it's like
Oh man, well James here, like
God,
you
yeah.
should see his vinyl collection, man.
Yeah, I
It's
have
just
a
got-
lot of vinyls. I really like most of the things I listen to are probably like at least 15 years old or older.
yeah.
Only old.
But you shouldn't get into that trap, where you're just like listening to old stuff and like thinking it's better than
Yeah.
new stuff because it's all relative.
Yeah,
but
totally.
there's some new bands I like. I like Kurt Weill, and I like Unknown Mortal Orchestra. But my favorite bands, like besides that, are like I like the Wipers and Rudimentary Peni, and I really love Black Sabbath and Slint. Like me and Andrew,
Yeah,
like
you-
I
you
showed
got me
Slint
into
to
Slint.
Andrew.
Okay.
They kind of
Good stuff.
invented they're the forerunners of post rock.
Okay.
Was Slint. Like they made
Ooh,
one album called Spiderland that was really influential.
Rodan. It's good
Yeah,
too,
Rodan.
Man. Got
Yeah,
me into them too.
They were from Louisville, Kentucky, and so was Slint. Like Rodan and Slint
Nice.
were from Louisville, Kentucky.
Do they have a music scene out there?
They had a really weird, like small,
You
like
went there, right?
kind of. No, I've never been there.
Well, I mean, it surprised me if there was actually some like because like in Kentucky, I mean, you'd be lucky if you find some like real hillbilly like country kind of music. Like so we were listening to Sergil Simpson, and like I guess he's from the Kentucky area. And I guess
I don't know.
I think he's from Kentucky.
Is he?
I think so. You give me that
Yeah,
look of
actually,
like,
he might, yeah, on the podcast. I think he
Yeah.
said something about that.
um,
The only band I recognized out of that whole lineup was maybe Black Sabbath. I think I've heard of them before, but
No.
yeah.
As I listened to Paranoid today, the second side, the B side of Paranoid,
Right.
it has Fairies Wear Boots and all those. It's an
Yeah.
awesome album, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, we're trying to think of a good cover to do.
we might cover Fairies Wear Boots, but we also might do Hole in the Sky, which would be a pretty awesome song.
anything by Black Sabbath was great, man.
Yeah.
I used to jam that shit all the time with my dad. Like to the point where like anytime Iron Man would come on, it's I am Iron Man. Like shit. Like, that was probably like my favorite part. What about you, man? Like what sort of stuff you been jamming lately?
I just listened to anime soundtracks and the sound of my own butt.
Uh-huh.
No, that's halfway true. I don't know. I have a freakish taste in music. Like, to be honest, it's when I met James. I was really into metal, and I'd been playing in metal bands since I was a teenager. He really got me into rock and roll and showed me some of the great bands that I like now. But gosh, what have I been? Mikkel Cronin.
Oh,
is
Michael Cronin?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Michael
yeah.
Cronin. Well, it's Mikal. I feel like it's Mikal.
Mikhail.
I don't know. Michael
Mikhail,
Cronin from
yeah.
LA. He's got this great like garage rock music, and oh man,
Fiddler.
Fiddler's pretty
You
cool
listen to
punk rock
Fiddler.
band. I don't know. I keep discovering all these great things.
Don't you listen to a lot of Deep House? Like Swedish.
I like electronic music. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Belgium Deep House from Belgium.
Belgian Deep House is the best.
Have you ever listened to any Chet Faker by any chance?
Who?
Chet Faker?
I'm not familiar. No.
He did a cover of No Diggity.
Oh, really?
It's actually like fucking sweet. Like it's probably like the smoothest thing I've ever heard in my life. And it took me a while. Like I first heard it and I was like, this sounds really good, kind of familiar, but I don't know where. And then as soon as it got to the I like the way you work it, no diggity, I was like, shit, man. Like,
Dude,
come
I think
on.
I heard that at Chipotle the other day.
Really?
Yeah, I was walking out. I was like, "This is a good cover, man."
I would definitely
Sounds
recommend it. It's very smooth. I definitely say that.
I do like smoothness.
I do like Chipotle.
Do you feel like whenever you make like a switch, like you say you're listening to like a lot of metal, and then you kind of like were introduced to some other bands, like do you feel like it fits like your personality more, like to where you can like hone in onto like a certain genre or like certain genres?
Well, not necessarily that it fits within my personality, but you find things that complement your taste, you know, just and like it's always a great feeling discovering new music that you've never heard that just gets you in a certain way, right?
Totally, yeah.
And you know, start feeling that, you're like, man, there's like this whole other world out there. I used to be straight up death metal all the time.
Really?
Yeah. But I don't know, playing rock and playing with James, it's been fun, man. We've been doing it for like 7 years now.
Yeah. I used to be the same way, like, because I grew up like listening to nothing but punk rock, and I hated everything else, you know. But when you're young like that, I guess you identify, you know, with whatever clique or whatever you want to be a part of.
Was there anything in your life that you felt like punk music was like the perfect way to like hone in on certain things? Like sometimes whenever I listen to like certain
it's
bands,
like Teenage Rebellion.
Yeah.
Like
you
when
feel
I was
like
13.
Yeah.
You know, oh, I hate my parents, you know, kind of thing. Like,
yeah,
oh, I'm gonna go out and like party and
Listen to Black Sabbath.
Yeah, but that's really how I got my start in music, was, you know, forming these bands with my friends in high school and stuff, like doing punk rock, you know, because like it's really accessible music for anybody. It's easy to play.
Yeah.
You know, and so all our friends would get together and just, you know, do that stuff. And I started playing when I was like 14.
Yeah.
In bands, so.
Now I definitely agree that it's easy thing to get into. But like you can still find like some like pretty thrashy hardcore stuff that kind of fits. It's weird. It's like those subgenres for punk rock, is you got like punk rock, then you got kind of like thrashy, and then you got kind of hardcore, and then that's where it sort of divides into like metal. But you can still find the like very like fast,
the D beat.
Yeah.
I played in a grindcore band.
Really?
What was the name of that grindcore band?
I played in 2 grindcore bands, and one was considered power violence.
You were the drummer.
I was in a band called Cum Squirt.
Just take a moment to appreciate that band name real quick.
This is back in the MySpace days, and our picture was it was a woman's vagina with like squirt coming out.
Okay.
On our, like, you know, remember on the MySpace you go to the, you know, it'd have the picture on the left and like the song playlist or whatever. That's what
I'd have to say that at that point, if I saw you guys, I'd immediately be a fan.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's hilarious, you know. We were called Cum Squirt, and they put on this festival, okay? There was this festival at this place called Southmore House, and they put on this festival. It's called Buttfest. And so, and the flyer was this man's ass, like, black and white. And then up there, it's like, no, the names of the bands are hilarious. Like, one band was called Pig Skewer, and then there was Cum Squirt. And, like, I can't remember. It was several years ago, but yeah, it's like, that scene was hilarious, you know, because it was really a convergence of, like, you know, punk rock and metal.
Yeah.
And just, like, really shittily played metal is basically what it is. It's like really fast, like, awfully played kind of stuff. Like,
I don't know if I'd want to go to the show if I saw the flyer, if I'd be too terrified to go.
For Buttfest?
It was interesting. You know, it was like this kind of squat house where, you know, people lived there, but they would put on shows. And, like,
squat house.
We're doing a show this coming up Thursday, and it's at a similar place. You know, it's like where people live there, but they, you know, they'll have touring bands come in, and we're playing with this band called Nature Boys from Nebraska. I'd like to say they're from Nebraska.
Oh wow!
But they're good, doing a little tour, and we're gonna open for them.
Sweet.
Yeah, so it'll be fun.
House of Creeps, right?
House of Creeps. Yeah, it's the House of Creeps.
So now that you guys have like this band going, you said before like you're gonna start recording some stuff. like, what's your initial plan? Like, are you gonna try and like just open for other bands and like to see where you guys can go, or you just push it as hard as you can and see where it ends up, or like what's like the initial plan for like a band of your guys' style?
Well, we got I've been steadily like booking us shows, like not every week or anything like that. Like I work and all, so it's difficult for me to just like take off a large amount of time to go tour. I mean, I'd love to, but I got a show booked in Austin at Beerland.
Sweet.
And so I'm just gonna kind of go from there and see who I can meet. We're gonna mail out some recordings to there's some labels that I want to try to cater ourselves to, and maybe get them or convince them to press a record for us.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, that's exciting, dude. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Where are you guys gonna be recording at?
For now, just at our practice space.
Okay.
Across the street. Actually,
We're just trying to get at least some demo songs together.
Yeah, we just want to get
so we
some
can sell
demos
some-
together.
Soon enough, we'll be
Sell some
recording a
shit
proper
and some
album.
shows.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Are you guys
Just get our
working with
music out
Greg
there.
at all, or?
Yeah, he's offered to help us, like a 12-pack of beers as payment.
Okay.
And so
He's contributed some equipment and
yeah, we got
Some
some
mics.
of his mics and stuff.
Awesome.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, he's definitely got his own thing going on with the John Tolan band. So
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
busy.
Oh, you want to
He's
tell them
kind of
about the
turned
house
into a
party?
big deal now.
Oh yeah, man. We're having this house party
In
June
June.
17th.
Okay.
We're calling it Punk and Funk because they're a funk
Right.
band, and we're both gonna record our live set.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah, man.
That's
Just
gonna be
grill some hot dogs
Hammer
and-
Party and Josh Tolan.
Yeah, Hammer
Yeah,
Party
yeah.
and Josh Tolan.
And June 17th.
Definitely.
Come on
I mean,
by.
shit. And you're gonna have it at your guys' house?
Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
like
great
right down
value
the
hot
street.
dogs and hamburgers.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be a slip and slide, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Slip and slide.
Get the bounce house in
Is
the
that
back.
what
Oh
it
yeah,
is?
God. Already
And the
booked the
tail on the
bounce
donkey.
house. We're ready
Right.
to go, man.
But so you guys are trying to record, trying to do shows, but like that first show that you guys did at 12th Street, that being your first show together. I mean, you guys, you worked together for a while, so I'm sure it was just a cakewalk. What was it like, playing a gig again with
Oh man, it was,
a new group of
I
guys?
just had the best time, man. It was like
Yeah.
the most fun I've ever had in a band for sure.
Right.
Hands
No,
down.
he was telling me like there was some spots where it's like bass driven, or like a lot of like bass stuff
Yeah,
was
a
going
lot
on.
of the songs are just definitely bass driven. You got the guitars just kind of on top doing, something completely different, and
Yeah, man. It's
it was a good vibe. I mean, I'll go ahead and address the elephant in the room. I first heard you guys, James and Andrew, whenever you guys played in a band with my sister, and whenever Miranda told me that she was in a band, the first band that she was in, I was like, I'm happy to be here and support. You're my sister. I'm proud of you, and that's kind of like how I felt about the first band that she was in. Once I heard what she was doing with you guys, I was like, okay, this is a fucking band I could jam. Like the sound number, I saw you guys live. I think I've seen you guys twice.
Yeah, did you go to the courthouse show?
Yeah, actually, I saw you guys 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you were there. Did you go to we played at 19th hole. Were you there?
I was not at 19th hole.
Okay.
I was at the courthouse. I totally forgot about that one. I'm spaced about that. I actually have video footage of that.
Yeah.
And I also saw you guys at the in the Heights.
Oh,
at
yeah,
the, art
that-
studio.
I forgot about that.
oh yeah.
The art gallery.
The art gallery.
The other bands we were playing with were such dicks.
What?
It was. Yeah, I mean, that was a great show right there.
Yeah,
But-
that was so weird. It was like they totally weren't expecting a band like us, to
Right.
Well,
like.
it was a tiny.
We were like so
But it was-
loud.
I mean,
and
the band-
it was tiled. It didn't sound very good.
yeah, it was like, but that was so
It was a
funny.
funny
But you
show.
guys kind of have that artsy feel to it anyway.
Yeah.
So
they
it
were-
definitely, it's definitely the band I wanted to go see there. By comparison, whenever I saw you guys at Avant Garden, though, that
Oh,
was
yeah, that's
probably my favorite show. Even though they were trying to kick you guys off the stage because it
Yeah,
was
that-
already past a certain time. They were trying to get everybody.
Yeah, they were.
out of there.
That was another
Yeah.
time people were total dicks. Like,
we have a show there, so
yeah, we have a show there too on July
16th. Okay.
17th or something. I
I
don't
guess
know.
16th.
We're playing with Belting for Gnash.
Oh, that's actually it's going to be a
Are they
bunch of
still a
groups.
band?
I don't.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
I
all
guess
groups
so.
from Huntsville,
I don't really know.
playing in Houston on Westheimer at Avant Garden.
Okay.
It's going to be a really cool show.
That'd be worth going
Jake Bevel
It's going to be us
putting it on.
Yeah,
and
Bevel
Gypsy
and
Davies, right?
and,
and
Connor
Gypsy
doing Nosh.
Davies.
Gypsy
And there's
Davies.
There's
yeah.
some other
Oh,
band
cool.
playing
It's gonna be an
besides
incredible
us.
show, actually.
It's gonna be a lot of
Why
fun.
the
Another
fuck-
Huntsville band?
Why the fuck isn't it in
Yeah.
Huntsville though? Like you guys are going to Houston. I get it. You wanted the big audience, but treat us to this shit, man. Like we need a big like
We need some more
moment for
venues,
music.
man.
Well, we got to let Houston know what's
That'd
up.
be nice.
Okay,
That's
you're-
true.
No, you're absolutely right.
Gotta spread out. Gotta let that
Just
bird
don't
fly.
forget about the little guys.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah,
Like we were here first, goddammit.
Dude, our
We love playing
favorite
here.
place to play is 12th Street Bar.
Yeah, it really is, man.
yeah.
Not to mention, we're sponsored by 12th Street Bar. Go there if you want to drink and check out.
Have a delicious ice cold Coors.
We're gonna use that. But no, this is exciting. You guys are doing shows. You got shows set up. You got a record coming out soon, hopefully. What other things do you guys like? Like I said, are you hoping to like maybe jump on a festival or like
That'd be
open up
great,
for like
you
a
know.
like semi big band like
Me and Andrew have always said it's a dream, like to play an open air festival.
Mhm.
You know, it just even once, you know, would just be an awesome experience. And then, you know, of course, there's all the catering in the back, you know, and like beer and
The
You know,
bowls of red only
the
M&Ms.
bowls, yeah, the bowls of Cheetos and stuff.
right.
You know, so I mean, yeah, that's, you know, it's the thing about festivals is like some bands get on the circuit. It's like a circuit, really, like where they'll just do festivals only,
Yeah.
and because they have
Right.
built-in audiences, you know, like that are just there. They pay for the ticket, and so they're gonna sit there and watch you, like, you know, unless if you totally suck, like,
Right.
you know. So, and I think you can make some money too, like doing it. Like that you get paid pretty well.
I've heard a couple of different stories too. Some bands have to pay.
Oh, you have to pay
to try and get on some of these big festivals.
Oh,
you know,
really?
that are
That-
popping up. Well, it just seems.
I guess
to,
it depends on your
It
management.
varies, yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of where I think, in my opinion, music kind of shows like the ugly side of it, where like the
Yeah.
business aspect of it, the politics
Yeah.
of it all. It's like you would just wish that you could just be on a stage and just perform the music that you spent your whole part of your life working on, just to get somebody's attention. But then you got
Right.
paying to be on a stage, and like you could only play for 15 minutes. Like all the bullshit that you have to go
Sure.
through. Is that kind of stuff like whenever like you play the music that you guys do, like, or at least you have like the whole punk rock root, to your guys' style, like, do you just like say fuck that noise and I'm just gonna do what I want to do, or do you feel like you have to like
No, there's tons of sucking up that has to be done,
sacrifices and shit that you
Yeah,
have
for
to
sure.
you know, there's
Unfortunately.
there are
Well,
promoters who think
yeah.
they're like hot shit, you know, and they're really not, but they think they are. And,
Well,
you
in
know,
order to,
like-
if we want to do that play, that's the thing. We've always been very DIY,
yeah,
and we spent lots of times, putting our own shows together.
we like to be in control.
Brian helped
you
us
know.
get stuff together at 12th Street Bar, and it's just worked out really well for us in the past.
Yeah, Brian is totally like one of the nicest, people we've dealt with in that regard, like for setting up shows and stuff, and
Right.
like paying the bands. Like a lot of people, you won't get paid at all,
Yeah.
or you get like just maybe like $15
Yeah.
or something from like the door. And it's not about the money. I'm just saying like he treats the bands really well.
Well, it's
You know,
always
and
good to
like-
meet someone who seems sympathetic with music makers.
and
Right.
Because so many people who are in that business do not.
Yeah.
And
They see it totally from the business aspect, and they only think of it
yeah.
as like, okay, you need to make me money now. Like, fuck your artsy bullshit, just make me money. Like, they turn into evil money grabbers. It's like such like the ugly side of music, which
It
is
is.
it's really
it's,
sad.
It's true, and it's really not the best business model, because
No.
it's music.
Yeah.
And it's changed, and the whole business model has changed so much in the past 10 years.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though. We love doing the DIY stuff, but sure, we've done our share of pandering and sucking up and begging, for the
Yeah.
shows that we want to play.
Right.
And it's been worth it, because what does any band really want?
They just
More
want to
than
get
people to
exposed,
hear
you
your
know?
music.
Yeah.
Totally.
Exposure.
More
Yeah.
people to hear it.
Yeah, totally. I think if there's any like true currency in music, it's just the listener's attention. Like that could take you far further. I don't know how little it is, but like far further than like any amount of money that you receive. Because like if you can like get into somebody's ears and like you catch them like humming your tune, like you're done. Like that's all you need. Like I remember hearing someone jam
Right.
some of our stuff.
It's like total fulfillment.
Yeah, like someone somebody was jamming our stuff in their car, and like they drove by, and like we hear our song out of the car.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I was
Or,
like,
like shirts.
I was like, shit, is that us? Like,
It's also the beauty of living in a small town.
True.
You know,
Yeah.
that can be really embarrassing potentially too.
I was taking the good from it.
Well,
Yeah.
I used to play in this black metal band called To Scale the Throne, and years after I had quit or we stopped doing it, I was at the Renaissance Festival and I heard a campsite blaring, you know, the EP, just a bunch of metalheads,
Yeah.
and I was like, what? This is surreal.
Yeah.
You know, but that was a weird experience. You know, when people tell you that your music meant something to them, like,
Yeah.
that has to be the best feeling that could ever happen.
Does that
Right.
does that at all like take you back to like in those magical moments when you like first discovered music and like it really began to mean something to you, just to know that like you're on the other side of the headphone, whereas like you're the person that's like, you know, like potentially like someone could be like in their room like with the CD player on their belly and the headphones in the ears, like just like being taken away
Just
by
with
your
their
music.
eyes closed. Yep.
Yeah, like to me, like if I could somehow achieve that, like just let someone be taken away by music, whether it be any kind. Like I'm like the first kind of guy. Like I don't really know how to classify my music, but like if somebody can listen to it and just be like taken away by it and just like hum it or like anything, like that's all I need.
Yeah, get a foot tap, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
I see that over there. Oh, man, I remember one time, even, it's nice to get, like, the unexpected, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I remember one time I ran sound for them, they were doing Chongo, and there was this dude with this big 10-gallon hat in the back, you know? Like, country, like got his Wranglers on, boots and everything.
He
It's
was
like,
totally into it, man.
yeah, it's like, this guy's
he loved
gonna
it.
hate it. He loved it, man.
Yeah,
He's back there just, like, pumping fists and just,
Nice.
like approving head shake. Like, yeah, man.
That's why I like Huntsville so
pretty
much,
good.
man.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, right.
that's another thing, man. Like, I've noticed, you know, the music scene has gotten a lot tighter, better, I think. in
Well,
the
there
past-
actually is a scene now. I mean, for the longest
know.
time, there was nothing.
It's so
Yeah.
cool, you know.
It's
I
nice.
really
It's
think
cool
it's
to be a
because
part of,
Coming around.
Yeah.
partially at least the 12th Street Bar, you know.
Yeah.
Brian helped us big time getting shows, and I feel like, you know, ever since shows started happening at that place, other bands just kind of started creeping up
Yeah,
out
totally.
of the woodwork
Yeah, absolutely.
and being like, wow,
Right.
we can be a band and not necessarily have to be like country or anything else,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
We
I
can
wanna
have a
say-
music scene
I
here.
want to say it really started whenever Brian took over the bar.
Absolutely, man. Yeah.
I really want to say that's what happened, and then once there was shows every other weekend, other bands were like, okay, let's get our practices in so we can do something like that, you know, and it's just kind of progressed so much. Before that, I mean, where are you going to fucking play? Shenanigans?
Yeah.
I mean, there
Yes.
really wasn't anywhere else that people were playing if they weren't hardcore country
man.
western.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know, and you need some sort of alternative from that. This town really isn't mostly comprised of, you know, country people.
No,
Best
dude.
way
Country
to
folk.
put it.
No, we have
There-
plenty of hippies
there-
up
there-
here.
Dynamic.
there-
Yeah, there's
there-
lots of hippies around
There's
here.
a lot
Yeah.
of hippies.
Oh,
and
yeah.
There's always been musicians,
Yeah.
but no fucking music scene.
Well, it's really interesting, man, because
It
you know,
used to be a
James-
great music.
That's the thing, James. Your mom and numerous other people,
My
you
mom
know,
graduated from
have
here in
told me about
76,
like the various music scenes that have existed in this town, and it seems like there's sort of a decade on, decade off, decade on, decade
Really?
off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so like it seems to just enjoy this kind of like this decade of just art, you know, and this renaissance, you know,
Yeah.
of culture or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's cool to kind of try to be a part of that now, you know.
Yeah, I totally
It's
agree.
really fun, man. Everyone's like supported us so much.
Yeah.
And they've been helping
Been
us
really
out. It's
kind
amazing.
and, you know,
Yeah,
just...
man.
Yeah, decade's a good way to put it because it was about 10 years ago. Me and him were jamming in this town. There was some sort of
Dude, I
scene.
remember at Lizards.
Right,
back,
there
like,
was Lizards was
guys
the place.
Oh,
Yeah.
lizards.
It had all
I,
the
got, I was banned from Lizards
That's one
twice.
place we got kicked off.
You were
the stage.
banned.
Twice.
Wow.
What'd you do to get
what
banned from
happened there,
Lizards?
We play too loud.
One time I talked shit to the people about... Because they, you know, they had a... I was a kid, man. I was like maybe 19 years old or 18. They had these like screens above the
Wait, are you
stage.
talking about before I played with
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
We got kicked off?
I got kicked off. They had these
You've
like...
been kicked off twice? Of that?
But the second time wasn't my fault.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
clarify.
Yeah, the
fir-
first time.
The first time, they had these TVs like playing the game or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, how do you expect a band to have anyone pay attention to them when these sports games? I said something like that, and like the guy was like, disrespect my bar, he got all pissed and kicked.
Ed?
I don't know, man. It was some guy who was wearing a Boy Scout shirt.
Probably Ed.
I'm serious. Like, and then the second time we were in the examples, and I was playing drums, and our singer was also, he was a kid basically, and he was mouthing off to some people playing pool, and he said
were yelling at us.
Yeah, people were yelling at us.
We were loud. We're a rock band. We were a rock band. And people were like, "Turn down," and etc. But really threateningly, like.
And Josh was like, "Do y'all want to hear a Metallica song?" And the guy was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "Well." What did he say?
Something mean.
Something like, "Well, you're shit out of luck." And then there's,
Well, no, but.
And then he said, "Turn down your mouth."
Turn down your mouth.
Didn't he say that? He was like, "Turn down." I think Josh was like, "Well, turn down your mouth." Like, and so then this huge bouncer.
Well, it started because of just we were being really loud. James was playing drums in that band.
Yeah, and I'm a loud drummer.
He's a very loud drummer. He's a beast, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, he is.
But they just didn't appreciate it, or were not used to it there, which is understandable. Until they came up on stage and started ripping cables out of our instruments.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Yeah, they were really rude.
That's going to kind of promote a shitty.
So like for many years, I was very wary of playing around here, and so like when I say it's gotten a lot better, it's like a 180.
Totally.
Like
It's
totally.
not lizards anymore,
Yeah,
so
definitely.
that.
No one's telling us to get the fuck
No.
out.
I'm just saying, if you guys get banned from lizards, I mean, that was a pretty.
I know it was
Yeah.
lizards.
It was lizards, man. It's
No,
just saying the name. You already know everything that it's about, man.
Yeah.
No, I was a kid too. Whenever we played there, I went like shit. I missed like my senior prom because like we were doing shows there.
Nice.
And shit, I remember every time like we'd finish the last song, we let it hang. Thank you, Huntsville. We love you. Good night. Whatever. And then we do the last hit. Like I would just jump off the stage and I would just run off and leave because like I don't want to be here any longer than I got to. Like I'll jam the fuck out and I'll be
It was just really awkward. Like it didn't have that nice like fuzzy feeling.
No.
That 12th Street bar.
Yeah.
Right.
I keep calling it Josie's. I don't know.
Yeah.
It'll always be Josie's. To us,
It's gonna
but,
happen.
Yeah, but 12th Street bar has a nice fuzzy feeling, and Lizards was like you were like crammed into this corner.
Yeah.
The stage was just
And like
Oh,
this
yeah.
like
joke.
metal hanger.
They had so many pool tables.
Airplane hanger.
Oh, so awesome.
Yeah, and it was hard because like we actually kind of had like a following. We had a lot of people come to our shows, and like the fucking pool tables would be in the way.
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
people would try to like move around and have fun, but it's just like people fall over. Like some dude like busted his face open like on the floor because he got messed up, and it's like this is way more hardcore than I think we were expecting it to be. But at least we weren't like on the second floor. I don't know if you guys ever went up to the second
I
floor.
went up there.
Yeah, but like they used to do shows up there.
Oh, they did shows up there.
Yeah, it was
They had
real
open
crazy.
mic,
wow.
I know, but I didn't know they did shows up there.
Actually, like one of the very first show, if not the very first show I ever went to when I was like 13, my mom like took me into the bar with her, and like I saw like this band called, I think they're called Indian Giver, and
What?
then was that you?
Dude,
What? Holy shit! I'm serious. I did not know that. That's fucking crazy.
Man, that's awesome.
You were my first show.
Oh really?
Oh, holy shit.
That's really weird.
Wait, where was that? Where?
It was at Lizard.
I was like 18 years old.
Yeah.
I'm about to be 30, so that was a long time ago.
I didn't know Indian Giver was that old, man. I have your old demos.
That was in 2005.
Holy shit.
Man. This is actually fucking awesome.
It's really weird. I'm kind of embarrassed. That shit's embarrassing.
I'm sorry. I don't
That
mean to bring it
music
up.
was
Wait,
awful.
you have a demo? Is that what you said? You got?
I like the demo.
You should. We'll
Pass
play
it our
that.
way,
Yeah.
and we'll give it some love.
It's not that bad. It's just like not.
God, so.
That's really weird. So you were in junior high.
Yeah. Like I just moved here with my mom, and she was like, "Hey, we're gonna go to this bar." Like her and one of her work friends. Like, we're gonna go to this bar, and there's gonna be this band. And I think Short Bus Superheroes was actually playing.
Yeah, man.
And
Yeah. Okay.
Short
That's
superheroes?
that's probably was it upstairs or
it
downstairs?
was upstairs.
Okay.
Like in that little, not like the bar area where the pool table was, but like that other little room to the side.
Yeah.
Where, like they had like the hookahs and
Yeah,
like
they had
the
a
food
hookah.
stuff later on.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, this is a long time ago.
cherries.
It was
Yeah.
like 10 or 11 years. Yeah, I remember playing up there.
Indian Giver's a great fucking name for a band.
but it has like kind of racist. Like I didn't think about it, but it's like it's kind of like saying, you know, you gypped me, or you know, it's like one of those things you don't think about it, but it is.
It's not currently PC.
It's not currently PC.
It should have been Native American giver.
But it's okay because he spelled it INDIE,
like indie.
Oh, okay.
That's so weird, man.
What were you? What instrument did you play?
I play guitar in that.
Did you sing as well?
Kinda. Yeah. I
Did
tried.
you have long hair?
Yeah.
Okay, it's all coming back to me now. Okay. Man, this is actually this is a real crazy turnaround than what I was expecting today. But yeah, so no.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
I've been ever since I was 14. I've had a band every year, and like I had that band for a couple of years. So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it was a fun experience for me. I'll say that. I'll tell you that for sure.
That's awesome.
I know that's funny because like I remember going to that show and I missed Short Bus Superheroes because it was getting too late for me, and but I caught you guys, and then Josh Starkey.
Oh yeah,
he had a band. Him and Dimmick, and like one of the Dimmick brothers.
Was it Master Blaster?
So I think it was him.
Yeah,
and,
it was
Robbie
Master
Nicolay.
Blaster.
Like
Okay.
yeah, like I saw those two bands.
Yeah.
And
Not
then,
the same age as The Influence.
Oh, The Influence. That was like Tim Gibbs, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
That was really before.
There's one of the Gibbs on there.
Or there's Soviet Lake too. I remember.
That's a cool name for a band.
Yeah.
Soviet Lake. I like that.
But what's funny is like I saw that show and like it was like really like the first spark in me to like maybe I could do this. Not in like a negative way. It's like if these guys can do it, then clearly I can do it. But it was like maybe I could start playing bass because like the first instrument I ever played was the bass guitar.
It's awesome.
So like later on that year, like Christmas time, can I get a bass for Christmas? And I got a bass, started playing. Didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
That's really crazy. Like no one has talked about that at all.
Really?
Like, a really long time. Yeah, I mean, like, I didn't even know anybody remembered who we were.
Well, you
know?
met the one guy who does.
It's so crazy, man.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it is really. It's a small town, you know?
Yeah, for sure. So, wait. So, how long did you have that band going for?
I had it going for maybe a year and a half.
Okay, and you said like every year you go into like a different band. Is that like is that by choice or is that like just how everything turns out?
I don't know. Like it is just kind of how it.
I think it's organic.
It's I get tired of one thing and want to do something else.
Right.
I'm really happy with this right now, though.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, so.
Well, there's a lot of people like me, for instance. Like I used to move around a whole lot. Like I would move from like state to state. You could say, "Give me a beer" if you want to. It's not gonna be rude.
I was not making motioning signals for a beer.
Oh, okay.
But I was.
But like certain people, like they'll move around, and it turns out like that turns like a habit of theirs. Like they can't be in one space for like a real long time. And I don't know if that says that they're more adventurous or if they don't want to be too complacent with one situation. But like, do you think it says something about like people who like are like constantly like jumping from like band to band, like who they are as a person, or?
Well, it's more like you keep trying out different things and being like in your head, okay, is this the one?
Yeah.
Right.
Is this the one?
Yeah, you just get that feeling.
And then like if you don't get that feeling, it's like, okay, I'm gonna try this. Like me and Andrew, like I said, we've been working together for a long time, and we tried different stuff out, and like I really like working with both of them.
We've always tried tons of stuff, but every time a band would either dissolve or come about, it seems purely circumstantial, not necessarily like a conscious decision.
Mm-hmm.
Like either he would write a batch of songs and show them to me, or I would write a batch of songs and like get the whole thing rolling, like that's kind of how it goes. And like he had never really played drums before. I guess, when did you start playing?
Vadasatra, right?
Yeah, and so like I've been a drummer for a long time. I kind of taught him a little bit.
I guess I've been doing it for like 3 or 4 years now, right?
Yeah, probably so. maybe 4 or 5. I don't know. But yeah, so I kind of showed him a little bit, and he was able to pick it up. Like we can switch around on anything and like kind of sound okay. You know?
It's a nice trait to have with other musicians.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
nice,
totally. Like I think that was actually something that I made an effort to like I'm not the greatest guitar player, but I know how to keep a rhythm going in case somebody needs. Yeah. Like I can't do any widdly wahs or anything like that, but I can keep a good rhythm going if I want to. But and I'm a decent bass player. I pride myself on being an okay drummer.
Cool.
Very minor at singing. Like I try to do a little bit of everything, just in case I'm ever needed to like stand in for that one spot. Like my heart is in drums.
Yeah.
Like I've been playing
cool.
drums for like almost way over 10 years now.
Awesome.
But like there's sometimes where like I'll dab on guitar. Like anybody can pick up an acoustic guitar and become like the most sensitive, poetic guy in the world. And, who knows where you're gonna go with it? But I try my best at that. I always wanted to play the piano. In my heart, I always wanted to be like the front man, the lead singer. I know I can't sing though. But I mean, you have those moments where like I don't know. Did you guys ever have those moments when like you were kids, like you get like the comb and like you find yourself in front of the mirror, like pretending to rock out to, like certain music or something like that?
Dude, I still do that shit.
Yeah, I do that too.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure that any musician, like loves to strap on their guitar and stand in front of the mirror,
Yeah, I've done that, like look at me.
Yeah.
I'm so sexy with my guitar.
I actually found myself doing that the other day. I mean, I was listening to fucking like
It's true.
I was listening to fucking like Kings of Leon, but for some reason like I was in the moment. I was just like fucking rocking out to that shit. I consider myself a dreamer, if not that. I think all musicians are
you a
essentially
Pisces?
sorry, what? Am I a Pisces? No, I'm a Sagittarius.
You got a problem with Sagittarius?
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
But
I'm Leo Cancer cusp. Just so everyone knows.
I'm a Pisces.
Pisces Aries cusp.
Aries cusp. Thanks.
I'm the just Aries. No cusp.
What's your zodiac sign?
Fuck all this bullshit, man.
Come on, man. Everyone else said theirs.
yeah, man.
Libra, right? Isn't it Libra?
You are a Libra. You're a Libra.
You're freaking me out, man.
There's a Libra in the house.
Uh-oh.
But-
ladies.
We're out of here.
Freaking me out, DC.
Table flip.
Right. But like, do you guys think of musicians essentially as just like dreamers or like people who like stargazers or like
Not necessarily. I've met plenty of musicians who are
This is total
complete
dicks.
opposite
Really?
of that. Sure.
No, I have as well. I mean, I think
It seems just totally circumstantial for whatever reason.
music in general is very much like like a hit of acid. Like who knows how you're gonna end up after
it's
that?
a total risk,
Anybody can end up in
It's
some certain way. I mean, I guess I'm more on the existential version of like what music does to me and like how it affects my life or whatever.
Yeah.
Some people like fucking they just want to play just to fucking play and like get as loud and raunchy as possible. Very much the punk rock mentality.
Would you like to get raunchy?
Yeah, we're pretty raunchy.
I use it more as therapy a lot of the times, just kind of a great way to vent.
Yeah.
Deal with my psychological
Kinda center
issues.
yourself there,
Yeah.
Just kind of, turn it back into nothing. Just
I
completely
think it's a
drain it.
form of exploration of self.
Yeah.
That too,
It's like
absolutely.
when you play, you start to discover things that you might not have really realized.
But that in
before.
itself is therapy,
That's
Absolutely.
true.
We had another band not too long ago, the Killer Beckies, and their drummer actually said something to me where it was like, when I used to say like whenever I play, I feel like I turn the switch on and like I become like an alternate version of myself, like I become the animal, and but he was saying it's like I turn the switch on the world off to where I could just kind of find center and like be in some form of peace. You know what I mean? And everything that he does there is like in a more peaceful setting. Me, I'm just like, give me the mushroom, turn into Super Mario, and then like, bam, go crazy.
Right.
I feel like music has always been like an enhancement to yourself, where it gives you like that sense of energy. It gives you that rush. It gives you goosebumps. It makes you feel alive. You know what I mean? I think that's one of those things that essentially makes music magical. I'm glad that you agree with me, DC.
Well said, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, well said.
We're
Well
nodding
said.
vigorously.
So you guys are recording. We want to play something from you guys. We can't do that right now, so we'll do that a little bit later.
Yeah,
But,
we really tried to get that recording
could do an
to work
acapella
out
version.
for our show, the live.
Yeah.
It just did not sound good, man.
We'll try to get it together this week if you guys can, and
Yeah.
we'll put it into this episode.
Sweet,
But
definitely.
just if we gave you an acoustic guitar, do you think you could do something?
Ooh.
No.
James.
I don't really feel like doing anything right now.
Way to be
It's just
James
it
is
just doesn't
actually,
really translate.
Not feeling
so
so
well.
great today.
Yeah, I've been sick for the past like 8 days. I'm just now kind of getting over it.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
We're not complaining about it.
We'll get you that post haste, man.
Well, I guess if we can go ahead and begin to wrap it up. Seriously, I want to thank you guys for coming on the show.
You guys have anything to like plug or anything?
Ooh, plugs.
Anything to mention? Is your free time? But
I
if
guess
you
our
guys have
show,
to think about it.
If you guys feel like driving down to Houston, we got a
Now, where are you
show.
guys going to be playing?
So we
at?
got
I
our
forgot
shows,
where you guys are
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah, I'll give our show schedule. So we got a show
Cool.
on what's next Thursday?
26.
Yeah, we got a show on May
Yeah.
May 26th.
All reaching for our fucking phones.
May 26th at House of Creeps, and we got a show.
Yeah, 26 at House of Creeps in Houston.
We got a show June.
Second, right?
No,
Beerland.
no, June.
June.
June 16th.
Yeah, June 17th.
June 17th.
At
House party.
918 University Avenue.
Then we got a show July 2nd at Beerland
That's the
In Austin.
in Austin.
Nice.
Then we got another show on July 16th
right.
with Killer Becky's Belting for Nosh and
The Gypsy
Gypsy
Davies.
Gypsy Davies.
I didn't know
Is it
Killer
Avant
Becky's were
Garden?
playing.
Lest we forget about the Gypsy Davies.
Right.
And then
Who could? That Shane is so
and then we might have a show the day before. This
so
band
hot
from
right
Tulsa contacted me.
He's hot right now.
See, I'm more of a Will kind of guy, but you know.
I was always Team Shane.
It's
to be really
real-
honest.
it's-
I've always been Team
Right,
Shane.
right.
Every time I see Will, I give him a big
Shit,
old
we should
hug.
make t-shirts.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Team Shane, Team Will. Just sort of like mock it over like Civil War, like, you know.
Show up to the shows.
Yeah. Random question: are any of you guys going to be going to ACL this year?
I'm not.
Oh man,
Nope.
it's just the tickets are just.
It's crazy,
Way too
but
expensive.
Radiohead's going to be there.
Are you
Oh,
serious, dude? Their new album is actually pretty good.
I was listening to Daydreaming the other day.
Yeah, I love
like,
Daydreaming,
fucking
man.
took me away. I can't
Yeah,
believe it.
it's
But
so great.
I still haven't heard of it, man.
it's good.
You sent it to my Spotify. I haven't listened to it just yet.
Yeah. It's real good. I don't know if it's kind of leaning more towards like Tom York stuff, like more
It
like
is.
Like a
the
solo.
piano
It kinda is,
kind of
man.
stuff. Very orchestrated.
It was like Adams
Yeah,
for
it's
Peace.
How is it
Yeah,
like
Adam's
compared
Peace,
to
man.
the King
Dude,
of
I
Limbs
love
album?
that.
Is it super duper different?
I think probably a little different than King from that one.
Shit, I'll listen
I
to
never
it
gave
anyways.
King of Limbs a chance.
Identikit.
I
That's
never
a good
tried
one
it.
too.
No.
I listened to it once on an airplane and it was awesome.
Nice.
I listened to the Lotus song and that was about it.
Yeah.
Lotus.
Oh, Lotus
Flower.
Flower. Yeah. That's a good song to dance to. Not even
Is
gonna
it?
lie. Like I danced
Well,
to
like
that song.
that video,
like Tom
man?
York dances.
I try and dance like Tom.
It's just
You tried to
literally
do the
him.
Tom
Wait,
York
is it-
dance.
Black and white.
So that's like
Dancing
every
all crazy.
Radiohead music video.
Kind of.
right?
Well,
It's just Tom York just like gyrating.
Yeah, it should be.
yeah.
Right,
It should be.
It actually like after
does it
like
well.
after
I don't think
listening
it,
to
like,
Lotus Flower and like seeing the
no
video of him
edit cuts or
dancing,
anything,
like
just-
going back to like other albums. Like I listened to In Rainbow last night with a friend, and like I was surprised. Like 15 Step, I just wanted to just like dance like crazy to that
man.
song, and then shit, that's probably the only one of that
10-8
album.
or something like that.
Yeah, because like a lot of like the first half of that album is like real like grooving and dancey, like 15 Step, and then was it Body Snatchers or
Body Snatchers, yeah.
That one's really good. But then you hit like
House of Cards,
House of
or,
Cards,
like,
and
yeah.
Wrecking Her, and like all
Dude.
these other songs. Just like I just
Super
want to
just,
smoke a
like-
joint and just
Oh,
like
man.
just chill out. You know, figure some shit out. You know?
Videotape, like,
Yeah, definitely, man. It's
I just want to
fucking
mention to all the listeners we have a Radiohead show you guys should check out. If you guys haven't
harmless
yet.
plug.
Harmless
But yeah,
plug.
I would definitely go to ACL just to see that. Like that.
when is it? Yeah.
I imagine sometime in the summer. I don't know. I gotta do research on that. But
I feel like I'm not allowed to go because I'm like over 28.
do you think like festivals are just like the new?
If you're
You
over
know,
28,
it's
you have to
actually,
have the
you know,
drugs.
no,
that's the deal.
I'll be honest. I'm talking out of my ass because I haven't actually yet been to a really. I haven't been to Houston Free Press. I haven't been to ACL. I haven't been to
neither.
South by Southwest.
Me neither.
You know.
But me, I'm different because like I kind of made a vow to myself. It was like the first time I want to go to these festivals, like I want to be playing at that festival.
God, right?
Like that, like I don't want to go to it unless I'm the show, which I know sounds vain, but
know.
like
No,
that's the
dude.
truth. Like even
I
if it was like a
totally-
small like a
We-
small stage on like Vans Warped Tour, like just let me be there, let me be the show, and then I can enjoy the rest of the day.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe one of these days. Maybe one of these days we'll see you guys.
That's the dream, man.
Yeah.
That's the dream. You might have to suck a lot of butt to do it, but
That's right.
Bring back Buttfest.
Gotta grease those palms. Gotta grease them real
Just,
good.
Hashtag Buttfest 2016.
Just hey, to all the other bands out there, never pay to play. It's
Yeah,
not
don't
worth
do
it.
that.
You'll get screwed over.
Never pay
Just
to
be
play.
a good band and find the right people, man.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, thank you guys seriously for being on the show.
Dude, thank you. This was
thanks,
fun.
man.
We'll do one more clinky before we end the show. And
My
best of luck
empty
to you guys
glass.
with the rest of your recording. Thank you. Good night. Goodbye.
Lock the door. They're out there, live. Occupy.